Greetings, gamers! I've been working on a new game called Incoming. Incoming is a 3D VR missile defense game. Protect your cities with a wide assortment of defenses against waves of warheads, bombers, zeppelins, and epic bosses. Wishlist today on Steam. Link is in the description.
Yes. What?
Greetings, Spacefarers, and welcome to another episode of Starfield. I'm Cobalt Thorium, and in this episode, we're going to be exploring the Vigilance, which is this great big starship of pirate hunters, basically. Alright, so, where do we start? I guess we could start here. It doesn't seem like we can get in here. There's no button or anything. This guy...
The fleet call us sharks. They know what happens when we see red. Hello.
Alright.
The fleet killed a buddy of mine. This is more than a job for me. We hunt piracy all across the galaxy. Excuse me.
Alright, so... yeah, we should probably do the main deck here first.
Okay, hello.
Guess we can't talk to them.
Pardon.
Operations does good work. If any fleet are setting up outposts out there, it's only a matter of time before we take them down.
Well, you guys don't seem to be doing a very good job so far, so...
Once we get rid of all the pirates, the galaxy will be a better place.
SysDef Marines are the best of the best. Excuse me. Back in basic training, I had the record for fleet kills.
Alright, what else do we have here? There's another room. Looks like a briefing room or an office of some kind. Not office, like conference room of some kind. Okay.
Hello. Howdy.
So it looks like we're supposed to talk to this person.
Okay. Hello.
Hey.
Let's go.
All right. We don't have a lot of time, so I need you to listen up.
Jeez, you're
While you're
rude.
working undercover, it's imperative that you gather as much evidence as possible. If you find any records that look suspicious or incriminating, you bring it to me. Is that understood?
What if I can't find anything? Or why do you need physical evidence? Or that's if I'm accepted into Crimson Fleet. Or so basically you want me to steal from thieves. Or I think I understand. Let's do questions first. What if I can't think of it? What if I can't think of anything? What if I can't find anything?
I'd scour every inch of wherever the Crimson Fleet sends you. Otherwise you're wasting our time and risking your neck for nothing. Criminals are sloppy. Look hard enough and I'm certain you'll stumble across their mess.
I don't know if that's always true that criminals are sloppy. Some are probably pretty slick. Anyway, why do you need physical evidence?
Well, since it isn't every day we stumble across a criminal's fully written confession, we need to build a case against our suspects.
Why?
The more evidence we acquire, the stronger our case becomes. And knowing the Crimson Fleet, they'll leave plenty of evidence for you to find.
So that's if I'm accepted into the Crimson Fleet, or... I don't like the top one here, so let's go with that's if I'm accepted into the Crimson Fleet.
You better make it, because Commander Akande cashed in all his chips to get this operation off the ground. I want data slates, computer downloads, handwritten notes. Hell, I'll take anything if it'll get those bastards thrown into the brig.
I'm confused. Are we trying to imprison the pirates or kill them? Sounds like I touched a nerve. Or I'm simply trying to understand my task, Lieutenant. I like that. Oh, it's kind of mean to her. Sounds like you have a personal vendetta against the Crimson Fleet or security. If there's incriminating data out there, I'll find it. Questions first, but yeah, we'll do that.
Haven't you been paying attention? Our goal here is the complete eradication of the Crimson Fleet. In order to do that, we need to dismantle them piece by piece from within. If you bring me evidence, we can make arrests and slowly drain their resources. Think of it as a death by 1,000 tiny cuts.
I really like this. I'm simply trying to understand my task, Lieutenant. It's so condescending. But at the same time, this is, yeah, let's go. I usually go with the specialized answers, but...
You have to understand that my agitation with the Crimson Fleet comes from personal experience. That minor skirmish you had with them on Vectera was nothing compared to the death and destruction those pirates leave behind. If you've seen what I've seen, you'd understand why I'm pushing you so hard.
You feel like talking about it. I'm no hero. I'm just here because it's my duty as a member of the Vanguard, or I've seen my fair share of violence, or I'll bring you as much evidence as I find. Questions first?
What? No. It's personal. It has nothing to do with you. Just stick to the mission and you'll be fine.
Alright, I'm no hero. I'm here because it's my duty as a member of the Vanguard. I don't like that answer. Yeah, let's do the I've seen my share of violence. Yeah.
Then you'll understand why it's so important that this operation is successful. Anyway,
I don't know,
before I
sometimes...
let you go, there's just one more thing. Commander Akande has authorized a credit disbursement for each piece of evidence that you return, as compensation for your efforts.
Credits, now you're speaking my language, or I don't need payment to do what's right, or that's very generous, or why would you be paying credits during a military operation?
Well, that's just it. You're not career military, are you? And speaking frankly, you're completely out of pocket during this operation. You'll be paying for your own supplies and other unexpected incidentals. So, if I were you, I'd stop asking questions and accept the compensation.
Wow, you're condescending. I really don't like you. I don't need payment to do what's right.
That's what I told Commander Akande, but he insisted. All right, we've loaded a container of Aurora into your ship's cargo hold. We're also providing you with a sample you can use to tease the goods. We've cleared your ship for launch. Proceed to Sidonia. Make contact with Saoirse Bowden, and with any luck, she'll point you to the Crimson Fleet. That should do it. You're dismissed.
Feel like discussing your personal experience with the Crimson Fleet, or what's going to happen to the people that you arrest, or what if I get caught with the container of Aurora in my cargo hold? We'll go with that.
Don't worry, the container's been registered with UC Security, so you shouldn't have any trouble. Even if you're scanned. Of course, if we find out you tried to sell it to someone outside the boundaries of this particular operation, well, I don't think I need to tell you the consequences of making that mistake.
I do want to get this thing off my ship as quickly as possible, so... Yeah. Yeah. What's going to happen to the people you arrest? We'll go with that.
We'll be keeping them close at hand until this operation is complete. So, we'll be holding them in the Vigilance's brig. If you're feeling particularly ruthless, you could always head down there and say hello. I'm sure they'll be thrilled to see you.
Yeah, so maybe the brig will act as a...
ate those alien plants we picked up on the last mission.
Stop busting my grab drive.
If you don't mind, I'd like to hurry this up.
Yeah, well, you can eat just
I
about
want it.
anything once.
I just wanted to hear the conversation next to us. Feel like discussing your personal experience with the Crimson Fleet?
Not really, no. I've learned to keep my personal experiences separate from the job.
Wow, that's as evasive as hell. Or it's odd that you know more about me than I know about you. Or if something's on your mind, it'll make you feel better to get out into the open. This is totally inappropriate for a military operation, or I'll respect your privacy. I kind of like just holding your feet to the fire. Let's go.
Yeah. Maybe... No, it's not really an appropriate time to be going over my private life.
Yeah, you should have never brought it up to begin
There are much more important
with.
things to be done. Let's just stick to the job at hand and concentrate on the mission. But, maybe we can talk about it some other time. Okay?
Alright, I guess that's that.
I'll be here if you have any more questions.
Maybe if we become more personable with her, she'll be less of a bitch.
Guess what?
Alright, SysDef Lieutenant Commander.
Vigilance is our flagship. Where it goes, fleet run.
Captain.
Pardon.
Recruit. So this is actually incorrect.
Yes?
Okay, hello.
I know
Yes?
that
I got a question for you.
people
How many
who are...
If you need
pirates
any
does
more
it take to
information,
screw a light bulb?
you should ask before you depart the Vigilance.
Hello.
One. It only takes one pirate to screw everything.
That's a pretty good joke. Okay, so yeah, as far as I'm aware, there's only ever allowed to be one captain upon a ship, and that anyone who has the rank of captain becomes a commander, I think, or maybe a commodore upon going on somebody else's ship where there's another captain. So they have this wrong. There should be no other captains on the ship. Even if they have... Whoa, dude, what are you carrying that around? I believe that's what they call brandishing. Just like walking around with a gun in your hand like that. Whoa, that's a turret. Ooh, it's a named person.
Pardon.
Ensign, petty officer. I guess that's it. So let's talk to this person, see what's up.
The lieutenant wants those reports on her
Oh,
desk by...
hello. I don't think we've met. Are you by chance new here?
The estimated
I am.
Or the numbers on their potential finances.
Both. And every other report you've been assigned.
I'm listening to upstairs. My name's Molly. Nice to meet you. Or yeah, Commander Akonde. I still don't know how to pronounce that. Just recruited me to join SysDef. Or no, I've been here the whole time. Or you seem unsure. I'm willing to bet you're new here too. Well, let's go with that.
I am, but I've never seen you here before. Wait, are you that dangerous Deramorph Slayer everyone's been talking about? Well, don't worry. I'm not scared of you. My godmother was a member of the Strikers gang, and you're not even half as scary as her. My name is Javanta. I'm an ensign with the maintenance and robotics team. And just between you and me, I don't think you're dangerous. Do you?
Strikers. Actually, I'm a member of the Strikers myself. Or I don't know what the rumors are, but I'm just me. Or I can handle myself in a fight if that's what you mean. Or I'm a teddy bear, a big softie. Or I'm dangerous. I've killed people. Sometimes for sport. Most times for fun. That's funny. We'll go with the Strikers, actually.
Are you really? What a coincidence. Do you miss home at all? I need to go back the next time I get shore leave. Anyway, it was very nice to meet you. If you want to talk some more, I will be here.
Why did you join SysDef? Or what are your duties here on the ship? Or is there anything you want to know about me? Let's go with the SysDef. SysDef.
It's a good question. It was what you'd call a minor moral crisis. I wasn't happy with my old job at Drone. I felt like my life was on an assembly line. Everything was about profit, and nothing had any real meaning. But then it occurred to me, if I'm so miserable, I could just leave. So one day I just did. SysDef is far from perfect, but our goal is noble. I can sleep soundly knowing my work will be for a cause that is just.
What are your duties here on the ship?
Oh, I'm part of the maintenance team that makes sure the Vigilance is operating smoothly. On the robotic side, I take care of the Model A's on the ship and make sure they're treated with respect and dignity. They are people, after all, just like us.
No, they're not. Agreed, we should treat robots the same way we treat all living things. They're not living things. Robots are sentient, but they're not people. And don't get the same rights. To me, robots are just tools. Or have you seen the robots abused and mistreated? I'll ask questions first.
Not here. But at Drone, Clients would come in and bring their robots for maintenance. And the condition these robots were in was appalling. Not to mention the way they were talked down to. Personally, I think the way you treat your robots says a lot about you.
To me, robots are just tools. Yeah, robots are not sentient, dude. They're not real people. There's no rider. There's no soul in there, even if it acts like it. So to me, robots are just tools.
That is very disappointing to hear. Can you really say that a Model A, one that speaks with such feeling, is the same as, say, a hammer? Think of it this way. How can we expect a robot to fight by our side if we won't fight for their right to exist? So I always do my best to treat them as my equals.
They're just following their programming. If they were programmed by the people on the other side, they'd be fighting for the other side. It's like they're not people. Is there anything you want to know about me?
Oh, I have so many questions. That is not enough time to ask them all. But I won't ask about your Vanguard duties, as I'm sure you're tired of people asking. Instead, I will ask you a very simple question. Are you a morning, afternoon, or night person?
I don't really like labels. I find them too constricting. What an awful answer. I'm a night person.
Oof, then we can't be friends. No, I'm kidding. Of course. But I prefer the early hours myself.
You seem like the type. Or that's probably not unusual for a military vessel. That actually sounds... See, this... Once again, I'd like this to be like... Whether or not this is judgy. Because you could be like... Oh, you seem like the type. Or you could be like, oh, you seem like the type. You know, like... What does it mean by the type? Right? But the tone is not conveyed here, so... I'm going to say that's probably unusual... Or not unusual for a military vessel. Because that's less judgy.
Yes, but I like getting up before even the personnel. When I have the coffee maker all to myself. But the thing I like best is the quiet.
Well, that's why I like night.
When I can look out into space and see the whole galaxy is asleep. When it's that quiet, the only noise you hear is from the Vigilance itself. In fact, we keep each other company when the world is too busy snoring in their beds. Makes it so the mornings are just for us. We can
All right.
talk later, if you're not feeling up to it. Goodbye.
So she is a pretty interesting character. I would say that she's pretty well written.
Excuse me.
Very strong personality. It's too bad there aren't more characters like that in this game. Whoa, why are you running around?
Pardon.
Alright, so we have a couple people here. I forgot to go after that guy's computer. Man, there's gonna be a lot. Okay. There's gonna be a lot of exploration in here. Like the density.
Hello.
That's a Freestar system.
Still, if pirates are involved, shouldn't we go after them?
It depends. But the name on our chest says UC, and given the FC fought us tooth and nail to get their independence, our gunship showing up on their doorstep won't be seen as neighborly.
Howdy.
Why are you taking that out? What are you doing? Why are you pointing that at me? What the hell is going on here? Whoa. Wow, it's quite the view. Some big guns there, too. I can't believe she took out her Uzi and pointed it at us.
Lieutenant Toft is as organized as they come. You can be sure she'll keep our T's crossed and guns loaded.
I guess we can't talk to them.
Hey,
Sys-Def Marines are the best of the best.
well, if it isn't my old partner, the Vanguard get rid of you. I thought it was a volunteer
Alright,
force.
let's go and talk to this one.
Excuse me.
I decided to transfer to
So is there nobody here that's a named character? on the
What?
bridge.
You meant-
I really wish that they'd put that gun away.
Hello?
Commander says you've been talking too much, stealing all the oxygen on the Vigilance. So they brought me here to shut you up.
You don't say. Well, good to have you back, partner.
Good to be back.
Some good little banter here. I almost want to just stick around and see what people say, but that's not going to be a good use of everybody's time who are watching this. Bated breath.
I cannot
being
wait
like,
to see how Lucy is throwing its weight around today.
like, when are you going to have a combat mission? It seems like it's been a while.
Hey,
Okay, come on,
Okay. Hello?
Ensign. I really dislike how you have to be like facing their front for them to come up.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
yes?
All right. I think that's everything.
I would love to be undercover. It's fun to roleplay, I think. Nah, I don't think enough research goes into AI. Not compared to exploration, anyway. If you ask me, are we alone in the universe? I tell you, we don't have to be. All right then.
All right. See, the characters all move around in here, so it's difficult to say whether or not we've met all of the named characters. But at this point, I think we have.
Howdy.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
Toft.
Yes. What?
Pardon.
All right, lung damage is getting better. Where's the main guy?
Hey,
Did you have to chase that ship through that asteroid belt? Yes. Howdy.
I guess the main guy's not here anymore. But let's take a look at his computer. Actually, what is this over here? That's nothing. Alright, cool. Let's take a look at his computer. Pirate operations. Reports of pirate activity continue to plague the settled systems. While the mission boards supply us with intel, the fleet often changes its targets to keep us guessing. According to Toft's report, there are 3 types of operations the fleet uses to fill its coffers: piracy, smuggling, and theft. What's the difference between piracy and theft? Well, maybe that's like petty theft. They've honed these operations under their current leadership, and we would do well to study their tactics so that we can better protect the settled systems. Crimson Fleet tactics? There's an old saying that to fight the enemy, one must know the enemy. The aphorism, while trite, still holds true today. Like many disorganized groups, the Crimson Fleet uses guerrilla tactics. They utilize the element of surprise to their advantage, jumping in and then quickly striking their targets before fleeing the scene. These are not revelatory tactics. Throughout history, ambush, deception, sabotage, and espionage have been used as the tools smaller groups employed to outmaneuver larger naval forces. SysDef was formed in order to fight this foe in a non-traditional sense. It is up to the leadership to find creative ways to do that without sacrificing the principles we hold dear. Okay. So this is actually not really true, but this is true for non-naval combat, but naval combat is different. I can explain that. Personal documents, state of the Vigilance. After speaking with Commander Natara, Lieutenant Toft has assured me that Project Svalin has been fully tested by engineers at SY-920 and approved by MAST. Okay. If everything goes according to plan, we'll begin implementation immediately. When that time comes, this upgrade will be essential for what we have planned. Okay, well that's cryptic and mysterious and interesting. The Crimson Fleet threat. It's no secret that we've had trouble explaining to the officials at MAST the urgency of the Crimson Fleet menace. Despite the fact that they are a disorganized band of pirates, they must be treated as a criminal organization that poses a threat to the safety of the settled systems. Unfortunately, without intel on the inner workings of the Crimson Fleet, much of this is speculation. We need someone on the inside to help us fill in the blanks. This is why I've requested the records of every prisoner detained by the United Colonies. Surely there's a candidate among them who will suit our needs. We're not a prisoner. Alright, that's this one, right? Okay. Resolve and purpose. There are years where nothing happens, and years that can define a life. I was 16 when I first took to the skies, 17 when it all came crashing down. It began with a ship. Earlier that year, my father had salvaged a wreck from the war, a B-class Deimos fighter, from an abandoned star yard. It was old, outdated, and, to put it bluntly, a piece of junk. The controls were shaky, the plating was rusted, and the engine coughed like it had bad lung. But none of that mattered to me. I was hooked from the very first grav jump. You see, up till that point, I often struggled to focus. Nothing I did had any long-term appeal. That all changed the moment that I took the Deimos junker out to the space lanes. For the first time in my life, I could see a life for me beyond the present. This ship, for all its loose wires, dents, and pockmarks, gave me purpose. Something I could devote my life to. 3 months later, I was an escort for my father's freighter. 10 months later, we were attacked by the Crimson Fleet. Okay. Most days, I think about my father, the kind, gentle man who raised me. I think about how much poorer this galaxy is without his laughter soaring through its membrane. At other times, my thoughts turn to his son, the boy with the star-bright eyes, and the future that he lost. When I'm confronted by this boy, my resolve begins to wane. I want him to forgive me for the man I have become. Once consumed by hate and vengeance, I stand wordless as he tugs at the corners of my jacket, tears flowing down his cheeks, begging me to let my anger go. And in that moment, every part of me wants to embrace him and tell him exactly what he needs to hear. I want to tell him I will drop this accursed chase and give his future the chance it deserves. But instead, I turn away. I leave him crying alone in the void of space. But what he does not realize is that I'm doing this for him. I fight the Crimson Fleet for the fathers and the futures lost to a world that never should have been. And when I think of them, my resolve returns, and I have purpose once more. All right. Interesting. Sorry, I'm making a note for an idea for one of my own games. Right. So what was I going to talk about? There's something I thought was interesting here. Oh, right. Yes. So, in fleets, or in, like, regular ships, rather.
Excuse me.
The speed of the ship is actually determined by the size of the propeller shaft or something like that.
Okay. Hello.
So it's kind of like the opposite of like everything else, where the only you see okay. Yeah, it's kind of the opposite, where the bigger the ship is, the faster it can go. There are some caveats, like like speedboats and stuff like that, which are propelled in a different way. But generally speaking, the bigger a ship is, the faster it is, which is like
Vanguard.
weird. Here's a named guy. Actually, is this guy named? All right.
I don't know about you.
What do you mean by that?
People who work undercover, they're sneaky by nature. Hard to read. When I fly, I want someone beside me who I can predict. Boxes by the Marquess of Queensbury rules. But you're a southpaw. A wild card.
I'll earn your trust in time. Or that's understandable. I'm new here. Or you don't know me. Hey, we didn't exactly choose this role, did we? So I'm going to say, that's understandable. I'm new here.
That isn't it. We've got plenty of green pilots picked right from the academy. But yours happened to come from a different farm. Vanguard. But if Commander Ikande says you're Sistef, then you are one of us. For now.
Okay. Are you a pilot?
You guessed it. In fact, I'd say you've got what linguistic experts call FOGO. A firm grasp of the obvious. But I'm not just any pilot. I'm the best. And I've got the kills to prove it.
I bet I could fly circles around you. Or I don't just grasp the obvious. I have it in a chokehold. Okay, that's amazing. Glad to have you on my side. I like all of these answers, but I really like this middle one.
Don't squeeze too hard, newbie. Someone might mistake it for sarcasm.
Oh, how'd you get involved with Sistef?
Long story. I got my start in the academy and made a name for myself hunting the Crimson Fleet. I eventually got recruited to do test flights on a star station orbiting Lloyden's Rock. Me and 3 other Archangel pilots did some work on some extremely dangerous prototypes. But I called in a few favors and got back home with Sistef. Someone with my talents needs to be here, where the action is.
Right, where'd you learn to fly? We already know you learned to fly at the academy, but we'll ask anyway.
I cut my teeth on space trucks, believe it or not.
Okay.
Before I got my stripes, I was just another cargo hauler trying to earn an honest wage. But after a couple slick escapes, I got recruited to the academy and went from dodging pirates to hunting them. Thing is, some of my best tricks were with a big rig. Ever try a pitchback with a Hope Tech truck with 2 fleet wraiths on your tail? Compared to that, doing it with a military fighter is a piece of cake.
Okay, I like this character. He's
Stay
interesting.
frosty.
Yeah, this is a pretty interesting...
Pardon.
It's clear that they put a lot of effort into this particular path. So I'm glad that we've explored it a little bit. Alright, what's down here? Docking port computer. Docking port 2. Ship status. Status unoccupied ready. Clearance. Authorized UC ships only. Ship information. Division NA. Captain NA. Ship NA. Ship status NA. Docking port 4. That's the same. We're going to roll on off of that. Take a look at this one. Yep, same. Yep, same. Or at least at a quick glance it looks the same. But it's a quick glance. Where am I going here?
How's the pirating business?
Okay, so this is us. Ship status, status occupied, clearance authorized. Division Sistef, Captain Molly, Ship Frontier. Ship status, operational. And that looks the same. So it seems like there's not a lot of ships docked here. Wow, my lung damage must have been serious because we've had quite a few prognoses improved, and it's still not fixed. Where's this brig? Oh, is this it? Can't tell what's in there. Oh, storage.
Yes?
Hi.
Excuse me. United Colony System Defense at your service.
Frostbite secured. Yay. Okay, so we can't go out this way. Oh, here's the brig. Alright.
Yes. What? Hello.
So this guy might be named.
We'll keep the brig ready for any pirates you bring in.
Ooh. Let's take a look. So here's where we get our pirate collection. Oh, I know where they're going with this. I know where they're going with this. Or at least I know where I would go with this. So here's my thought. Or what I would do. I would make it so that SysDef wants you to bring pirates in and have them arrested and put in here as a collection. And then I would have the pirates, if they realize that you're SysDef, ask you to arrest a bunch of pirates and put them in here so that they're on board this great, wonderful, giant battleship. And then to have you knock this guy out or kill him and release them using the computer so that they can take over the Vigilance. And right there, that's like your final pathway decision as to whether or not you're going to be a pirate or SysDef. Like, you can fake it up until that moment. Alright, brig protocols. The Vigilance brig is a high-level confinement facility for captured and pre-trial prisoners charged with piracy. The brig ensures the security and safe transport of all prisoners to United Colony's correctional facilities. Under the guidance of Commander Ekande and ranking officers of the Vigilance, the brig's staff is responsible for maintaining and enforcing these directives. All right. Transfer protocols. Handcuffs and a guard escort are standard while transporting prisoners. Those assigned to maximum security cells may require additional security measures to prevent escape. We should attempt to accommodate prisoner requests within reason. Looser restraints and comfortable seating can be supplied upon request. The United Colonies will typically use mid-sized Deimos ships for shuttling prisoners to correctional facilities. Okay. Let's talk to this chap. Armin Petros.
Rest assured, all prisoners are secure and ready for interrogation.
Petrosin.
Welcome to the brig. As a member of SysDef, you may talk with the prisoners as long as you are mindful of operation security. As a personal rule, I simply ask that you adhere to UC Navy standards of cleanliness at all times. That means no mud on your boots, your hands are washed, and you are free of any contagious diseases.
All right. Why the focus on cleanliness?
Besides the fact that it's healthier, a sanitary brig is important for station security. In my experience, a prisoner will hide a shiv under a flake of dust if you let them. The cleaner a space is, the easier it is to spot irregularities, both inside the cell and out.
Not bad. Seems a bit excessive, but I'll try my best. Or I keep things neat and tidy, so it won't be a problem. Or sorry to tell you, but I'm kind of a slob.
I like things neat and tidy. We'll go with that.
Excellent. And all that being said, I understand your mission directive might call for flexibility on my part. So if you need to be a rum-drinking, swashbuckling pirate to do your job, then I will do my best to clean up after you.
Ooh, we get to drink a lot of rum, huh? How do you handle treatment of prisoners? Or what kind of prisoners end up in the brig? Well, we already know that. What if the prisoners tried to escape? What kind of defenses do we have? And what are your thoughts on Commander Akande? We'll go with that first.
He's a good man, singularly focused when it comes to the fleet. But that's not to say he doesn't care about his crew. I can tell you a story as an example if you'd like to hear it.
Sure, why not? But let's ask questions first. Does the commander visit the brig often?
Usually only when he has business here. But pretty much everyone passes by the brig on their way to other parts of the ship. Given he sees barely a glance of me most days, you'd think he wasn't paying attention. Hence the story, if you've got time.
Go ahead, I've got time.
So, I'm a bit of a workaholic, and I forget to take breaks. One day, Commander Ikande passes by the brig and sees me at my desk. He takes one look at my haggard face and says, "Officer, I'm headed to the mess hall. If you're not with me in 15 minutes, your services will no longer be required on my ship." I tried to protest, but he was dead serious. So I went. We had lunch, talked about old times, and I went back to the brig, refreshed and ready to work. It's little things like that. You can see he pays attention, and that he cares about the people, not just the work.
All right. What if the... How do you handle treatment of prisoners?
That's a loaded question. We err on the side of caution here, short of any physical abuse. But with the Crimson Fleet, you have to be very careful. If you give them an inch, they'll take a parsec and find a way to stab you with it.
A whole new section of dialogue. Interesting. Do the guards get into it with the prisoners?
Verbally, yes. There's a lot of bad blood with the fleet, stretching across generations, myself included. Sometimes that blood spills over. As long as there's no actual fighting, I tend to let both sides dish it out.
Do what you have to do. Pirates don't deserve mercy. Or security side, we should try to keep things as humane as possible. But that's a good mindset. Security should be the top priority. I don't believe in just like wanton cruelty, so I'm not going to say pirates don't deserve mercy. At the same time, they are pirates, so I don't know if we should treat them as humanely as possible. I do think that security should be the top priority.
That's the idea. We will always err on the side of security, given the choice. But I'll be the first to admit it's not an exact science, and we've made mistakes in the past with both the carrot and the stick. As chief officer of this brig, my worst fear is that we'll someday repeat them.
What kind of prisoners end up in the brig?
The cells you see here are for captured pirates and prisoners of war. If you apprehend any pirates during the course of your missions, they'll be detained here.
What if the prisoners tried to escape? What kind of defenses do we have?
We have multiple turrets attached to the ceiling. If you've met Ensign Betty, she's personally calibrated them to ensure they cover the entire area. That being said, firing the turrets should be considered a last resort. Are you going to finish that thought?
I don't know if we've come across Ensign Betty yet.
As you will.
Unless that's the German girl. But yeah, I think I think we've kind of covered all the corners of this ship. At least the ones that are accessible to us at this point. There are a lot that are not, like this interrogation room. Ensign Betty. Now I'm curious. I want to know who that is. So storage requires a computer, so you can't get in there. Are you in, somebody?
Yes?
Nope. Okay, so those are some more docking ports. You're not. Actually, I wonder if this guy's going to turn out to be a pirate. He's got kind of a gruff voice, you know? It's almost the kind of guy you'd hire to be the voice actor of sneaky pirate who's pretending to do work for UC SysDef so that he can keep an eye on them. There's a couple really good ideas in here. I'm going to have to write these down for some of my own games. But, yeah, so let's wrap it up here. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope that you enjoyed this. And if you have, please like, maybe comment, maybe share, maybe subscribe. New episodes every day at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, US and Canada. I'm Cobalt Thorium, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.